I recently turned 50, and when people approach my time of life, they generally start thinking about their bucket lists, things they would like to do before they shuffle off this mortal coil and go and join the great sportive in the sky. For some, it could be going on a world cruise, or swimming with dolphins, or refereeing a naked ping pong match between Donald Trump and Theresa May. But for me, a lot of mine are cycling related, and I'm going to share those with you now. Probably number one on my cycling bucket list is to cross an international border on my bike. Now, I've been riding for about 45 years and I've ridden all over the world in that time. I've been to places like Australia, New Zealand, France, Germany, Spain, and even the United States. I've ridden my bike there, but I've never gone from one country into another. Now, living here in the south of England, it's fairly easy to get to France. I can put the bike in the car, drive for an hour or so, get on a ferry or the Eurotunnel, and then within half an hour I'm in northern France. And from there I can probably ride into Belgium, and if I'm feeling really energetic, ride through Belgium and into the Netherlands. If I'm not feeling quite so energetic, I could even put the bike in the car, drive fairly close to one of the borders, and then just cross over, and then I've done it. I very nearly achieved this ambition when I was in Austria a few months ago. I was staying in the city of Salzburg, which is only about 5 miles from the German border, and I could have quite easily hired one of these city bike things, ridden across the border into Germany and then ridden back again. It would have taken me probably about 45 minutes to an hour, but unfortunately my schedule was rather tight and I didn't really have time to do it. And besides, I quite like the idea of going to northern France, riding into Belgium, having a beer and then riding back into France again. Number two on my cycling bucket list is to ride across Westminster Bridge in London. Now, many of you watching this will live and work in London, and you probably do this all the time and think nothing of it. But for me, I live in Hampshire, so I'm about 60 miles or 100 kilometres away. So what I could do in theory is take the train up there, and I could borrow one of the Boris bikes and then ride over Westminster Bridge and drop it off at the next convenient stop. But I think I would rather ride all the way from here all the way up to London and then ride across the bridge, and then that way I felt I've kind of earned the achievement of my bucket list item. Now, this is probably an event for the summer, because I would guess it will take me round about 5 or 6 hours to get up there and actually get to Westminster Bridge. So if I do go ahead and do it, what I might do is announce it on here in good time, and then anybody wishing to join me can come along and we'll all ride across the bridge together. That'd be fantastic. And finally, number 3 on my cycling bucket list is to cycle up Cheddar Gorge in Somerset. Now, if you don't know what Cheddar Gorge is, it's a natural limestone gorge situated near the town of Cheddar here in the UK. And yes, that is where the cheese comes from. I've been to Cheddar many times in the car, and I've driven up and down the gorge quite a few times. And very impressive it is too. The climb itself is only about 1.5 miles long with steady gradients, but I know for a fact there's a 17% corner that's going to be very tricky. Even the car sometimes struggles going up there if the traffic's bad. Friends of mine have ridden it and they've also said that it's quite tough. So I think it's going to be quite a challenge, and added to that, it's about 100 miles or 150 kilometres from where I live, so I would either have to drive the car there with the bike in the back and then ride up the gorge separately, or perhaps drive there and then ride all the way home with the gorge being almost kilometre zero. Again, that's going to be quite a tough ride, 100 miles, and the terrain between here and there is quite hilly, but again, it's an event for the summer. And if I do it, I'll announce it in good time on here so that anybody wishing to join me can do so. So there we go. There are 3 of the items on my bucket list. Be interesting to hear yours if you have any, but in the meantime, thanks for watching.